And welcome to I Should Say That Out Loud. I'm Donna Brandell, your host. Thank you so much for joining me today in either watching or listening to this episode. This month I'm talking about actual things I think that I should say out loud. Last week I talked about nice things I think I should say out loud. This week I'm going to talk about protecting myself things that I think I should say out loud. But first, why am I doing this? The more I learn about the podcasting community and the autistic podcasting community that's out there, which is great. There's a lot of great people podcasting about autism who are actually autistic and sharing great information. And the more I find these other great podcasters, recently I've gotten a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of great stuff that's being put out there. And I've been asking myself, why should I join, in with these great people who are doing these great things? Why should I keep podcasting? Isn't there enough people doing that already? But then I remembered all the people that still sound surprised and tell me their shock and awe and surprise at learning of my diagnosis. And that tells me that there's not enough people podcasting and sharing their stories about being autistic and what it's like and what it means. And there's not enough awareness of autism yet. And since April is Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month, what a great time to keep going and keep podcasting and sharing from my experience and from my heart. My goal is to take the stigma and fear out of an autism diagnosis, whether you're formally diagnosed or self-diagnosed. My mission is to encourage people who are autistic to live a life of increased ability and hope, to live a life of increased joy and ability by providing hope and practical skills. My vision is to see those with autism accomplish great things, whether in their daily activities and tasks or achieving dreams beyond their imagination. So what are the things that I think I should say to protect myself? The first one is pretty basic and obvious, but it doesn't mean it's easy. It's a very short and simple word, only 2 letters. N-O. No. Why is that word so hard to say? I've thought about this for a while. I think the reason it's hard for me to say no, and for a lot of people with autism, is because we have a really hard time communicating with people, interacting with people, and building relationships. And when we do start to build a relationship, I have found myself not wanting to lose that momentum or lose that relationship or that friendship. And so I find myself saying yes to things I shouldn't say yes to. Sometimes I say yes to things that I'm too busy for, that I don't have time in my schedule to do. I don't have money in my budget to do. I should say no to things that fill up my schedule. I should say no to things that I cannot afford. I should say no to anything that infringes on my boundaries. That can be a really difficult and touchy subject, but a very, very, very important one. I know that people with autism are more prone to abuse, whether physical or especially emotional or financial or sexual, any kind of abuse. I've shared this before, but there's a really great podcast episode by Orion Kelly, and I don't mind saying it again and again because it's a really important episode. I think a lot of people should listen to, especially this month during Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month, when people are really interested to learn more about autism. This is a really important topic to understand, is that people with autism are more susceptible to abuse. Well, for a lot of reasons that Orion really lays out really well, but the reasons that stick out in my brain from my own experience is that, as I said, once we develop relationships, which are really hard for us to develop, we don't want to lose them. So we might say yes, or we might just not say no to things that we should say no to. things that can really harm us physically and emotionally. And one of the other reasons that I really relate to is that it's harder for me, has been harder for me, and it's harder for people with autism to understand subtle social cues, or even obvious social cues sometimes, that another person may be not healthy for us or maybe trying to take advantage of us. And we might just be so agreeable that we're unaware of that happening or the potential for that. And so, as I shared in last week's episode, as we learn to communicate better and notice these nonverbal cues, these social cues better, we can get better at our boundaries and at saying no to things that we should say no to. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is very possible because I have grown in that in huge leaps and bounds, but it takes time. Just as learning to speak out loud takes extra time for people with autism, learning to have boundaries and especially to stay firm in our boundaries and to verbally say, no, I don't want that. No, I don't like that. No, don't do that. No, stop doing that. No, I'm going to get help. No, somebody help me. These are very important things to be able to say out loud. And if you struggle saying anything out loud, these are some of the last things that are going to come out of your mouth. I stayed silent on so many things for so long. I can't even believe the things that I stayed silent on, that I should have spoken up about and stood up for myself and stood up for other people that I care about, that I wasn't able to. I was not able to until I grew in the ability to speak out loud and to have confidence in myself to say things out loud and to be okay with losing friends and losing people that I've known for a long time because 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 I because I'm worthy of being treated well. Everybody is worthy of being treated well. I know a lot of people struggle with low self-esteem. I didn't used to think that I struggled with that, and I don't even know if it's an issue of self-esteem. I'm so excited to share with you about my new sponsor. When neurodiversity enters your life, or your child's life, it can be an overwhelming time with no clear direction for the journey ahead. Thanks to my podcast sponsor, Neurodiversity Training International, you can avail yourself of weekly online classes with neurodivergent adults, professionals, and allies, and ask questions at live Q&A sessions and have a supportive community full of discussion boards where you are not out in the wilderness and going through this journey alone. Simply go to my link tree on my Instagram bio at Donna Brendel, DonnaBrendel, and click the ND Community button for your 30-day free trial and then only $11 a month thereafter. I think it's more an issue of agreeableness. I've been listening to Jordan Peterson a lot lately. I've been learning about the character trait of agreeableness a lot from him. I am definitely one of those. I'm a very agreeable person, but even agreeable people can learn to stand up for themselves. So it's a combination of being autistic and being agreeable, double A, that has made it so hard for me to stand up for myself and protect myself. But now that I have the ability and the courage to say things out loud, I would like to help other people learn how to speak out loud, how to say things to protect themselves out loud, to know that you are worthy of protecting yourself. You are worthy of being treated well, of being loved well, of being cared about, of being of being appreciated, of being acknowledged, even if you're still very quiet. You're worthy of being acknowledged, that you exist, that you're a valuable person, that you matter in the world, that you deserve to be here, that you deserve space, that you deserve a voice, whether it's an out loud voice or a writing voice or a typing voice. You deserve a voice and you deserve to be heard. Even if you have struggles with behavior, a lot of people with autism struggle with behavior, especially children and younger people. Even if you struggle with behavior issues, you still are a valuable person. You still deserve dignity and love and patience. A lot of parents of autistic children with behavior issues have a lot on their plate, and it's very emotional. It's very emotionally draining on them and physically draining on them, and they could use some help. If you can help relieve some of these parents and give them a night off and give them a date night with their spouse, with their partner, with their loved one, or just time alone to recover and think and rest, that would be so valuable. But you, as the autistic person, deserve to be able to say, no, I don't like that. I don't want that. Stop. And one of the other things that I have always struggled with, and I still struggle with, is asking for help. I do not like asking for help. I still don't like asking for help. I want to do it myself. I like doing things myself. Because my brain is different and thinks differently and operates differently, I have a different way of doing things than other people. And when I ask for help, or when I've asked for help in the past, the help that I've gotten sometimes is not the help I want. It's not the help I need. They want to help me do things their way, not the way I think something should be done, or that I coherently think, maybe not coherently, the way that I think things should be done, the way my brain thinks. And maybe I should do it their way, but usually, because they don't understand how different my brain is, they think I need to understand the correct way to do it. And they don't understand that there could be a different way. There could be a more creative way. Maybe my way is not so great. Maybe it's a bad way, but it's my way. And until I can communicate, and sometimes I can't even put the way my brain works into words, or the thing I'm struggling with, the help that I need. I can't communicate what kind of help I need. I can't even say what I need help with sometimes. I can't explain it. So I don't actually know how to ask for help sometimes, because I don't know what I need help with. I can't explain it. I can't even wrap my own brain around it, let alone help someone else wrap their brain around how I need help. So sometimes it's an issue with communicating how I need help, and sometimes it's an issue of communicating that I need help in a way that my brain understands, not in the way your brain understands. Because if you help me the way your brain understands, I won't be able to do it myself next time. And you don't want to help me every time I need that help. I didn't even want to ask you the first time. I don't want to ask you a second time. And I definitely won't ask you a second time to help me if the first time you helped me, you did it your way, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, you're helping me. That's great. This time it's going to be helpful, but I'm not going to be able to replicate that. And I need to learn how to replicate things to help myself. Wow, that is so profound. That is so hard to convey to people, and frustrating to other people. It's frustrating to me, obviously, But it's so frustrating to other people. They're like, why can't you just do it my way? Because my brain is different. My brain works differently. I can't do it your way. I can't even understand your way. I'm very visual, and it helps me to see things visually, whether written down or a picture drawn. I literally need you to draw me a picture. That is very helpful. In slowing down, and first of all, usually if I need help, I'm already anxious. I'm already emotional. Like my blood pressure might be up, my breathing might be up, my emotional level might be all over the place. I might be just scatterbrained. And in that state, I really can't wrap my brain around what I need or the help I need, and I'm not going to be able to communicate what I need. So what I need, first of all, is to de-escalate how I'm feeling about the problem. And for somebody to help me, I need them to say, it's okay. And just give me a hug, maybe. Or just give me time to breathe. Give me time to slow down and realize the problem I'm having is not catastrophic. And it's not the end of the world. To me, it's a big monumental problem. But especially for someone who has the answer and has the ability to help, if you can convey, it's okay, I want to help you. I will help you in your way. I will try to help you learn it the way your brain will understand it. It might take me some time, but I'm willing to try. And I want you to first just breathe and slow down and relax and know it's okay. And I will take the time to help you in the way that you will understand how to do whatever it is you're trying to do, so that you can do it yourself next time, because I want to know how to do things myself. Why am I sitting here in my closet with my computer on the floor? Because I am terrible with computers. Like, I can use computers at work all day long, because at work there's IT people who fix things and keep them running. But here at home on my home computer, I don't have that. It's me trying to keep this thing healthy and running well. And I have support, but I don't call support because I think it's going to go poorly. Like, they're not going to know how to help me because my brain's different. And I came to a place recently where I had to call for help because the thing wouldn't turn on. It was just done. So I was forced to ask for help. That's how badly I don't want to ask for help. I was forced to ask for help. And I had an internet issue too that I didn't even realize because of the ice storm a few weeks ago or a month ago that took out my internet line. And it was fixed, but it wasn't fixed fully. And my internet was like getting worse and worse and worse over the weeks. And then when I finally called support to get help, they were very patient. It was wonderful. I was relieved by that. So thank you for IT people for your patience. But then, because my internet wasn't strong enough, the support that they were trying to give me wasn't working. It just literally wasn't working. And I had to keep repeating the process of their troubleshooting process over and over and over again. And I was getting so frustrated, but I was trying to keep calm and breathe and receive the help. And I was talking to this one tech, Matthew, Friday night, Saturday morning. He called me back because, we ran out of time. And it's so cool. As I was talking to this Matthew, Apple Tech guy, Matthew, we weren't making progress. I was frustrated. And there was a knock on my door. And I said, "Oh, Matthew, I'm getting a knock on my door. Hold on a second." He's like, "Okay." And he held on and let me go answer the door. And I had flowers delivered. Somebody sent me flowers, and they came just at the right time when I was so frustrated from this computer technology support call that wasn't working. And I hate asking for help to begin with. And then I get flowers delivered. And then I tell Matthew, I come back on the phone, "Matthew, the knock on the door was a flower delivery. How awesome is that?" Matthew said, "That just made my day. Somebody knew that you would be on the phone with tech today, and you would need this pick-me-up." Oh, even though I hate asking for help and I struggle asking for help, how awesome is it that when I finally do, even though it wasn't working, I got flowers. That just told me, I attribute it to God's blessing and touching my heart in a huge moment of struggle, and telling me, "I see you. I know how you're feeling. It's okay. It's going to be okay." It's also the other person who sent me the flowers, who knows me really well and understands how I'm feeling, and knew that I would need flowers, not even knowing why or in that moment what I would be doing, but knew that I would need that pick me up. So thank you, God, and thank you to that person. Both know me very well and love me very well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But then I gave up on the computer issue and the tech call. They wanted to do the last final step of just wiping my computer and reinstalling everything when okay, yes, I have to admit, I don't have a recent backup. It's like 2 years old. So I didn't want to do that step. I knew that the next day, okay, I'm going off on a tangent now, but I'm here now. I knew the weather was going to be nice the next day after that tech call with the flower delivery. The next day I was going to be outside cutting up the branches that fell in the ice storm. And I thought, well, maybe there's a wire on the ground. I think it's a phone line. I'm going to call and have that phone line taken away. And just maybe that's not the phone line. Maybe it's the internet. I don't know. I just had this thought in the back of my mind. I'm not going to do this final step of support recovery and wiping my whole computer clean. I'm going to take care of the branches outside first. And I did call, and I had the phone tech come out. Actually, it was a internet phone combination service that came out to take care of the phone line. And it was a phone line. I was right about that. And he did take it away. But he also noticed that whoever fixed the internet line didn't fix it properly or fully. I think it was the electric company that did that, like as a nice gesture of, "I'm going to tack your internet line up," but not tell you that it's frayed and the copper wire is showing. So the guy who came to fix the phone line noticed the internet was about to go out completely, and that, like a light bulb went off in my head. Oh my gosh, that's why the support from Apple wasn't working. I mean, they were telling me everything I needed to do and being very patient about it, and patient even when it wasn't working. But maybe it'll work now. Maybe now that I have this internet issue fixed that I didn't know I had, maybe now I can get my computer running. And you already know the answer to that. I'm sitting here in my closet because I had to move my computer closer to the router so I could plug it in directly to the router because the Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough. Well, now I know the Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough because the internet was about to go out. So there you have it. I hate asking for help. I finally did it. I was courageous enough to say out loud, I need help, to make the phone call, the dreaded phone call to support. And that long string of frustrating but beautiful moments happened through phone tech support. And I've learned a lot through that experience. And my computer's working again. And I learned some things on how to do this computer tech stuff by myself? Well, first of all, make a backup, which I still need to do. I just got this thing hooked up like 2 hours ago. I'm going to make a backup tonight. And just ask for help. The sooner you ask for help, the better. That's what I should say out loud. I need help. And if the people I ask for help aren't helping me in the way that my brain understands, the next thing I should say out loud is, thank you for your help, but I don't quite understand your process or how you go about it. Maybe your way is not great for me. Is there another way? Can you break it down even into smaller bites? Can you draw a picture? So I should say out loud, I need more specific help. I need more broken down help. I need more basic help at my level where I can understand, or until my brain can wrap around the ideas that you're sharing with me so I can incorporate it into how I'm able to do it. And then I can do it myself next time, which I want to do. I want to do things myself. One final thing. This is, on one hand, is not as major as the others, but on the other hand is life-threatening and or life-saving, so it is still very important. Another thing I should say out loud to protect myself is that I have allergies, right? I just forget. And I used to order food at a restaurant and not tell them I had these allergies. It's really, I don't want to overanalyze it. I don't think it was because I was afraid to tell them. I think it just slipped my mind. But now I'm just, again, the more I realize that I am a valuable person, the more I'm putting things in place to stand up for myself and protect myself, and just say to the waiter, to the server, I have an allergy as I'm ordering. A simple little thing. But again, I could have a serious reaction if I don't say that. So I should say out loud, I have an allergy regularly every time I'm at a restaurant or at, someone's house if they're serving food. Sometimes they sneak ingredients in that they think is a good idea and they don't tell you, and it's a dangerous idea for some people. So I should say that out loud. And I want to say out loud, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening, especially all the way through. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like it and share it and tell other people about it. And together, let's do the difficult thing of growing this community and raising awareness and acceptance of autism together as we talk and share our thoughts, our ideas, and our experiences. Thank you so much.